big old mommy milkers weren't out in the public for everyone to see, or touch, or suckle.
Yeah, buddy. Lightweight, baby!
What's up, guys? I'm Josh and I lift things, and I'm here to talk about my broken body and what I'm gonna do to fix it. So first off, let me run through some of the bigger problem areas. I have asthma. I have Crohn's. I have shit posture. I have a winged scapula. I have a flared ribcage. I have no bitches. I have an injured lower back. I have locked hamstrings. I recently started getting bad knees. And pretty much all of my other joints are kind of fucked up. So, how did this happen? What am I going to do to fix them? Well, the Crohn's and posture and asthma are kind of just me. Well, for the Crohn's and asthma, that's just genetic. There's nothing I can do about that. For the asthma, I try to do a little bit of cardio so I can actually fucking breathe. And for the Crohn's, I just try to live a somewhat healthy, active lifestyle. For the poor posture, that's a couple of things. One, I work from a computer, so all day I'm spending fucking hunched over. I also had gynecomastia, and you can watch my video on my experience on that. And so to try to cover that up, in high school, I kind of developed poor posture, so my big old mommy milkers weren't out in the public for everyone to see, or touch, or suckle. For the winged scapula, I kind of did this one to myself. I don't know if you can see, but I can like pop my scapula out like that. Can't do it on this side nearly as well though. And the story goes in I was in like 3rd grade and I was playing baseball and a kid could do this. And he'd always joke there was like a cyborg, like the rockets like popping out of like his like upper shoulder. And I thought it was super cool. So I sat around for forever trying to figure out how to do it. And now I can do it. And I now have a winged scapula. And so I kind of fucked myself. So that's great. The rib cage, I don't know. I always just thought I had a big rib cage. I'm starting to figure out, I think it's kind of flared. For the bitches, it's just game over. For the lower back, I was doing starting strength my freshman year of high school during football season, and I finally got to 315 for 3 sets of 5. On the second to last rep, on the last set, I was going down, lost my brace, my back jerked in and the weight crumbled down on me. I had safety so I didn't die, but I really fucked up my back, and to this day I still experience back issues. Now, pain is a very confusing topic that I plan on making a video on at some time in the future. It could be that a lot of it is placebo at this point, but regardless, I deal with it. Now, my knees have recently started hurting the last couple of weeks. This is something new to me. Every single joint in my body's been fucked up except my knees, so that's great. I'm just degrading, but I think that's what getting older and lifting heavy is. For the rest of my joints hurting, it's just beat up from life, as well as the fact of my Crohn's disease, which leads to inflammation. It can lead to joint inflammation, and yeah, it just kind of sucks. So what am I going to be doing to fix it? Well, first things first, I am taking an extended break from lifting heavy. It sucks. It's the one thing I really like to do in the gym. I've always cared about my bench squat dead numbers. They're not particularly that impressive, but they are mine and I like them and I want them to grow. But I'm going to have to stop for a while. And it's not just going to be like a 1-week deload. I'm instead going to be putting a lot of my effort into injury prevention, rehab, prehab, even more so than I already was, which I think I do a lot more than a lot of other people do. As for my main training, I'm probably going to be dropping to more quote-unquote bodybuilding style training. I'm going to be using lighter weights and I'm going to be using slower tempos, and it's going to be a big change for me. Hopefully it'll be fine and hopefully I enjoy it, but I'm really going to sincerely miss lifting weights. At least like heavy actual weights. But I would much rather be able to walk and not be in pain than talk about how big my bench is. Everyone has different goals, and those are mine. For my posture, I'm going to be incorporating known as Mackenzie chin tucks. And I also went to a physical therapist a couple of years ago who basically figured out that I have extremely tight pec minor. This is something that a lot of lifters have to deal with, and essentially, from all the pressing that we do, our pec minor becomes overly tight. We round our shoulders forward, stretching our back muscles. So to fix that, we have to stretch our chest and maybe even do a little bit of like, trigger point therapy, myofascial release bullshit, then strengthen the upper back. This is essentially known as upper cross syndrome, which actually doesn't have a lot of evidence for existing. Posture, again, is a very, very confusing thing with a lot of back and forth anecdotal reports. So it's hard to say, but we will see what this does, me including Mackenzie chin tucks and doing some chest particular stretching. I'm also going to be including more band work in throughout the day, but I already do a lot of that, so who's to say? Continuing on shit posture with my flared scapula, or winged scapula. I don't fucking know. I'm going to be trying to work on my serratus a bit more, particularly doing things like wall slides and serratus wall slides. I think a bit of the issue is that my serratus on my right arm, the one I can pop this bad boy out on, isn't necessarily firing properly. If I do like a wall slide, I can really feel like an impingement in my shoulder. So hopefully we can figure that out. For my flared rib cage, a lot of people recommend trying to do specific breathing exercises to try to teach your body to pull everything in. If you're trying to correct your posture, you can just be like, oh, okay, posture, bam, correct it. with pulling your rib cage down, that part is much, much harder and isn't really all that useful. You have some type of mechanic that's wrong with you, causing everything to flare out like that. Now, again, there's a lot of back and forth on how real the issue is in the first place, if you can even treat it all that well. Time will tell. For the bitches, I will remain bitchless, Sigma male grind set, all that. For my lower back, kind of similar to the upper cross syndrome, I'm going to be working on my tight hip flexors, as well as performing the McGill Big 3 to work on spine stability. Now, again, there's a lot of evidence saying these work. There's a lot of evidence saying that they don't work. Time will tell. Hopefully, if I stop beating myself up doing heavy deads and squats, that this problem will kind of work itself out anyways, but we'll see. For my hamstrings, which I have incredibly locked hamstrings, I haven't been able to reach and touch my toes probably for like 5 years. It's bad. And I stretch and do a decent amount of mobility work. I also sit in a fucking chair all day. So to combat this, I'm going to be doing the toe touch routine by Antranic. The link will be down in the description. I'm going to be taking a lot of pointers from Kit Laughlin. I've never known how to pronounce his name, but he's an awesome, awesome guy in the flexibility space. For my knees, I'm going to be combining the methodologies from Knees Over Toes guys, the Greg Nuckols patellar tendinopathy article, as well as the book Overcoming Tendinitis. All of these will also be linked in the description if you're dealing with similar stuff. I don't know which parts I'm going to keep or throw out, which ones will be beneficial for me. And for everything else, I'm just going to try to live a more active and better life. I'm going to spend this time to try to get my running game and cardio back up, because ever since my last hamstring injury in October, I've been severely lacking in that department. Like I said, all the links to all these programs and ideas will be linked in the description below if you want to check them out for yourself. I'm going to be doing this for probably 8 to 12 weeks and reassess. Regardless of success or failure, new videos will be coming out on each of these individual topics, because I get a lot of questions about make a video on rib flare, make a video on this. I don't know if I have enough expertise to drop anything or saying that other people haven't already said. And the information is extremely confusing, and what works for me may not work for you. But regardless, videos will be coming out on each of these topics, going over my success or failure. So if you want to see those when they come out, make sure you hit the subscribe button. There's my useless plug, yada yada. My goal is to build up kind of a compendium of PT-esque type documentation with the big old massive disclaimer: I am not a fucking doctor. Go to a PT. Go to someone who knows what they're talking about. I'm just some dude that reads a lot. This sucks. Sometimes you have to make these decisions in life, and I'm at that point. I am in kind of constant pain, not to be dramatic about it, and I need to make a change. I love lifting. I'm going to continue lifting. I just have to change the way that I go about it. All you young bucks will probably think I'm a pussy, but I think as you get older, you'll come to see things my way. Hopefully, I can make the mistake for you, and you can learn from me and start to employ some of these things early in order to stop it before it ever gets too bad. And guys, that is the video. If you want to support a old geezer like me who just got his AARP card and has to take his driving test every single year, do me a favor, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, comment, share to your buddies, share to your family members. They need to hear this shit, dude. What the fuck? If you really like this style of content, you can follow all these socials down below. The links are in the description. I used to post exercise content there twice a day, every single day, cut up shorts of these full-length videos, but now I'm posting exclusive content, so TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube clips, fucking subreddit. Join all that shit, please. And as always, thank you so much for watching, and have a great day.